Welcome to Slayer the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. Well, I made a video not long ago. It was a Heavy Thoughts. Actually, I just made it 10 seconds ago, but I'll probably be posting this one like a week later. So a week ago, I made a video about, music, did popular music just taking over culture and society, the way grunge did, the way the LA MTV bands did, the way disco did, the way the classic rock bands did in the 70s. And as I was talking about that towards the end, I talked about how music has a way of taking you back, and you have these sort of emotional attachments to music. And I mentioned that, I talk with this friend of mine that, we went to high school and we always talk about music, and we talk about how, a song can really take you back to a certain place and a certain time. And in a lot of ways, the music can be very therapeutic. And I know I find myself, like, when I'm upset or stressed out, I fall back on what I call my comfort food bands, the bands that I grew up on. And I've mentioned them of AC/DC, Sabbath, Maiden, Priest, some of the classic rock stuff like The Doors and Hendrix and stuff like that. It takes me back to my youth. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. It brings back good memories. And it's just interesting how there's certain songs and albums or bands that I associate with certain times in my life, with certain people. And I think music is a very fascinating thing, that it can do that it can kind of act like this, it sort of like triggers memories inside you, and it can really take you back to a place. And I'm wondering if it's the same thing for you guys. Like, is there a song, an album, in an experience, a concert or something, or just you hear a song, or you think about a band, and does it take you back to a certain time in your life? Does it remind you of certain people? I often tell these stories. I like to say I call them snapshots inside my head, or maybe little 10-second films inside my head, where I can just absolutely picture myself sitting in front of my stereo at night. The lights from my stereo, lights off in my room because I'm supposed to be asleep, and the lights from my stereo and my headphones on, and hearing the song Diary of a Madman for the first time. I can distinctly remember putting Paranoid on my record player for the first time. Certain bands and certain songs, they just take me right back to certain people that I knew in my life, and it's just it's really fascinating that music can do that. And I think it's one of the special powers of music. I used to, where I used to work, we used to have these, we called them team builders, and you had to come up with an activity, and we took turns coming up with activities. And the one that I did was I asked everybody to pick a song that had some sort of meaning to them. And it was so fascinating because, half the people were in tears because maybe the song reminded them of a lost love, someone from their past, someone they used to date or something like that, or a friend or something, or a very special time in their life. And it was just so cool to hear how these songs make them think of those people, and how music can be very comforting. I think back to certain times in my life where maybe there was something very emotional going on, and how I used music as something to help me get through that. You hear that all the time. You hear people talk about how music got them through difficult times. There's a clip of Rob Halford, which I can't find it anymore, and I don't know where it was from. If anybody, if you know what this is, tell me if it's still out there on YouTube, because I can't find it. I used to just love watching it. And they're interviewing Rob about something, an album or something like that. And he goes, and they ask him some sort of question like, what does the music mean to your fans, or something like that? And he goes, well, he goes, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to use this. You may have to cut this out. And try not to get choked up telling this story, but he proceeds then to tell the story about how he got a phone call from a kid who was dying, and this person, told them about how Judas Priest it just got him through all this. And Rob chokes up and he tears up and everything while he's telling this story, and it's just so powerful, and it just shows you. What a great thing music can be, how it can help you through difficult times, how it can be the soundtrack to that great high school party, the song that when you met your girlfriend or wife, or that got you through a difficult time or something like that. So I find it really interesting and fascinating. So for you guys out there, is it the same way? Are there songs, albums that just take you back in time and remind you of certain places, events, or there's just something that a song or something that really means a lot to you, and maybe it always, every time you hear it, it kind of stirs up a certain special emotion. So let me know in the comments down below. I'd be really interested to hear this, because again, I just love I love when I hear about how the that special magic in music and the way it's able to move and touch people and stay with people. So let me know in the comments down below some of your stories about those special songs or albums. Let me know. And until we see you again, make sure you rock hard, ride free.